Welcome. Welcome, Ian. Welcome, Nicola and Spencer and Jay and Martin. Welcome, Red Recording Light. Take a breath and relax. We're in the presence of something sacred. We're in the presence of love. Before I started coming here and met all of you, I was in a very intense period of my life. Where I felt like there's nothing in this world that would ever satisfy me. Because there's something within me calling. And I had experienced it before it was revealed to me. But I guess I wasn't ready for it. I was still interested in so many things of the world, so many distractions. But there came a time when everything sort of lost its luster. Everything that I could achieve or feel just seemed kind of empty to me. And without any warning, one day I just descended into this feeling that was calling me. and became very focused. No matter how entertaining my thoughts were, I ignored them. And as it seems to be with the mind, once you have recognized its nature of being shallow and leading nowhere, it seems to offer you the greatest gifts to try and convince you to stay. It's a sleazy salesman, the mind. But I became so focused that even in my dreams, all I wanted to do was sit and go into the world within. I let the momentum of life carry on without me. And I just sat still for several months. I was ready to give up life itself, to go beyond or find the source of my existence. That was the most important thing to me, I thought, at the time. But the deeper that I went into myself, the further that I felt from every other person, every other being. It was as if I spent my whole life digging or diving for a treasure, a pearl. And the closer I got to it, the more lonely I felt. And finally, when I was sitting in the presence of that treasure, completely at rest, there was no longer anybody to share it with. So I needed help. I wanted to share it, or else for me, the whole journey would have been wasted. So I prayed with all my heart for the first time in my life. Shortly after, I found a wonderful man, a spiritual teacher online, and around him was a beautiful collection of spiritual outcasts, just like myself. And to be quite honest, I didn't really resonate with the teachings, the words. At that point, I had had quite enough of words and teachings. But something about going there, going to the online satsangs, there's such a magnificent sense of connection. It was some degree of the connection that I was craving. And about a month into attending these weekly gatherings, um, one of the members who I felt very endeared to, felt very, very deeply connected to her, even though she never heard me speak before. She didn't know anything about me. but her sharing and her vulnerability and courage to be bare and raw had resonated so deeply with me that when she said she was leaving, I I felt like I had to tell her how connected I felt to her, and how much I resonated with the things that she expressed, and how much she helped me. So completely out of my usual character, I sort of desperately reached out and poured my heart out. I didn't hold back at all. And it felt incredible when my heart was received. And I realized that I couldn't connect with anybody on a deep level unless I had the courage to share those depths of myself, to risk being cut and heartbroken, and to risk all the pain that comes with love. The two are connected, love and pain. It's the price that our hearts have to pay for this great joy of loving. And a few days after that, the love between this person leaving and the leader of this group, Ed, became so, well, it was so strong. And finally, it became clear to me It was as if I was shrouded in some lifelong prison of protecting my own heart, and I couldn't see or feel love within myself, and I couldn't recognize it between other people. I just thought it was sort of cheesy or shallow, thin, just a word that people use to explain something that's very simple or something of that nature. But in this moment, it felt like I was standing between the two greatest lovers in history. Like maybe one was the sky and one was the earth, and I was the only tree in an empty field. And the lightning from the sky kissed the earth through me. And it was quite possibly the most incredible moment of my entire life. My heart was completely lit aflame, and the smoke from that fire filled my mind, and I couldn't think of anything. The incredible, majestic feeling in my chest. It started as just a small spark that I could barely feel. But when this lightning struck, it just everything exploded, and I went from feeling like I was watching my life unfold from way back in the distance through a telescope or something. And suddenly I was just completely thrust into my body, and life was hitting me from every single angle all at once. And it felt like my limbs were being pulled in all directions. It felt like my insides wanted to be outside and my outside wanted to be inside. And I couldn't sleep because the feeling was just so powerful that I couldn't contain it. I couldn't come to rest and leave this feeling. I just couldn't stop giggling and squirming and rolling around and clutching my chest and laughing and crying and wanting to say a trillion things, but having no words to say them with. I felt so full. I felt so full that even the incredibly vast emptiness that I was sitting in before seemed too small to contain this feeling, this colossal explosion of love. It was like this warm, dense fluid was filling in all the space between the stars, between the galaxies inside of myself. And it filled me so fully that the endless emptiness could not contain it, and this feeling of love overflowed. It pushed the limits of a limitless space and gushed out. I never felt anything like it before. And part of me was afraid that I was losing my mind. But it didn't matter because the feeling was so good, so powerful, so unmistakable and indelible that I didn't care if I looked like a fool or if I was broken forever or if the rest of my life I would be just a completely messed up love junkie. Now, I thought this love was initially not my own. I thought I had received it from from these two lovers whose path I crossed. But one of those lovers reminded me that she had given me nothing, that everything I felt and everything I had was already my own. That the source of this love was not anywhere outside of myself. This is the love that I speak from today, that I trust. When I'm in the presence of this love, I feel so relaxed. I feel so focused. And it's not that I don't care about anything else, it's just that nothing else exists while this love is here. Nothing else can exist but it. And everything just melts away. There's no other place that I would rather be, no other person I'd rather be. There's nothing I would trade it for. There's no spiritual wisdom anymore. Because all I want to do is bare myself completely to this love. And I see it in my cat. I feel it. And I know she does not judge me. She does not wonder why I rub my nose on her face. She just basks in it, and I bask in it. I surrender to it. I have nothing left to hide, nothing left to gain. And then comes the recognition that this love is the love of God. This is unconditional love, unending compassion and patience. We're loving as a human, as a soul, as a living being. We're loving another living being. But somehow it is the divine, loving the divine, looking past the physical, looking past the emotional, the past, the present, the future. It is some ecstatic, transcendent treasure. And we bask in it when we come here. It makes our skin glow. It makes us warm. And it purifies us. Our opinions don't mean so much. Our preferences for this or that. we begin to only care about being in the presence of this love. It becomes the ultimate power, even beyond our own will. We follow it, and it grows and grows. And it touches the world around us, not by our own volition, just by itself. More than anything, the heart craves love. And once a love of this caliber is felt, life really doesn't feel the same without it. I love you all. I love you, Ian. I love you, Jay. I love you, Spencer. I love you, VJ and Goose. I love you, Nicola. I love you, Tove. I love you, Brenda. I love you, Martin. And I even love the little red recording light. Thank you for your presence and your warmth and your love. It is the great joy of my life to feel it, to sit in it here with you.